Hello and welcome to our channel where we discuss and share stories from the popular subreddit Am I the Asshole? AITA. Here, we dive into real-life scenarios submitted by users and explore different perspectives to determine who might be in the wrong. It's a judgment-free zone where we strive to learn and grow from the experiences of others. So sit back, relax, and join us as we navigate the complexities of human behavior and relationships. In this first story we have AITA for not making my stepdaughter's birthday a higher priority. I, 33M, am engaged to Anna, 33F, and I have two kids, Rhett and Neil, 8M and 7M, from my first marriage. Anna has a 4-year-old daughter. My ex, Sarah, 32F, and I share custody of the boys. We've been divorced for almost 5 years now. We live in the same city, so it's pretty easy to have shared custody, and I honestly love co-parenting with her. Sarah recently got a pretty tough diagnosis, and we discussed that the boys might be spending more time with me while she is undergoing treatments, and I'll take them to see her over the weekends or so. This has been going on for a couple of weeks now. She is in the hospital and spends some weekends at home, but most at the hospital. So when I take the kids to see her, we usually spend the afternoon together. She is too weak to really take care of the boys now, so I usually make us a meal and then me and my boys go back home. I also take them to the hospital a lot because they want to be with their mom, so this takes up a lot of my time nowadays. On Friday it was my stepdaughter's birthday, and I told my fiancée, on Thursday, that me and the boys will be there for the party at 4 p.m., but I'll take them to see their mom. They asked me to take them around 1 p.m., so we won't be there for lunch. Anna got really mad at me and told me that I don't have to jump every time my kids want something and that birthday lunches are her tradition, they are in her family, and I am neglecting her kid and don't even love her, the daughter. I told her that's a really unfair thing to say and that my kids will always come first to me, so right now when they need their mom so much, I'll take them there anytime. Then she said that I still love Sarah. I told her that she is the mother of my children and that yes, she will always be important to me. Anna is pissed at me now, and some of my friends said I made the wrong call. Am I the butthole? Bedtime, argue about wanting to watch Adult Swim when we were too young, and once I had a part-time job, he would try to convince me to order takeout instead of our mom's crappy leftovers. I never budged. I was worried if I got caught I'd lose the trust of my parents. They were and are so proud of how responsible I was. I never let him, and if he argued I would always call my parents, who weren't happy that their monthly date night was being interrupted so they could tell off my bro for wanting to watch some R-rated movie. He got in trouble a lot for giving them lip service. Once he was 15, he started disappearing off to a friend's house every time my parents were out, which was weird because by then the only rules we really had were to be in bed at a reasonable hour and to not leave after dark. He said he was done being led around by Mr. Gestapo and was sick of the way I acted. Next up on the list we have AITA for being too strict and controlling with my younger brother. My 21M brother, 19M, and I have a pretty strained relationship. Growing up, my parents started letting me watch him alone when I was 11, during short errands of theirs at first, and gradually longer periods as we got older. They gave us a couple chores to do, nothing major, and always told me house rules applied, whether or not they were home. This meant bedtimes were the same, what we could watch on TV was the same, dinner was usually in the fridge or later on they left out stuff for me to cook. I love cooking so I never minded. My brother always seemed to think that because I'm his big bro, I should let him get away with some stuff he would argue about. Soon I went off to college, and he was 18, so this stopped, but he's still cold and abrasive to me. I can't give him any advice or warn him about anything without him thinking I'm ordering him around. I wish we could just be brothers again, but he says he's had his fill of me. Am I the butthole? This next one is AITA for prioritizing my own happiness and fulfillment over my friend's feelings. For background, this story goes back a few months. This friend, I'll call her Shannon for story purposes, and question has been distant and on and off, and I keep trying to check in as I am worried, but every time she assures me she's fine and everything's okay, and that I've done nothing, which is the reason I'm so distraught. I can't reason this behavior. Flash forward to this past month. Things have been very off. The only person she hangs out with is her, and any conversation we have is about them or the topics of her, and any mention of my life are almost immediately changed to her issues and her stories. I feel like I never get a word in. I love being there for her and letting her vent, but I wish I could do the same at times. We used to be so close, and I just feel like the effort isn't there anymore. Shannon found out, and she seems mad at me. Which is so strange because anytime I'm not busy and she's also free, I'm not a worry in her mind. Anytime these friends are brought up or she sees them in person, she has an attitude and won't talk to them, and I am not sure what to do. Shannon told me I should have asked her first, since in years past it's usually us hanging out. I want badly to tell her that the only reason I have these new friends is because I was pushed away by her and another mutual friend. The worst part about this all is I'm not sure I'm even mad it all happened. I've found my people. I am way less held back and more out there with everyone. I'm just afraid that I'm being rude to Shannon, and maybe I had no reason to go make plans without her. So, should I have asked Shannon first? Am I the butthole? Have begun to give the same energy back and try my best to focus on me and other relationships, but I can't seem to stop worrying. Anyways, current day. My birthday is coming up, and usually me and Shannon would hang out, but the 2 times I've mentioned doing something recently she has bailed or said she'd let me know later and never does. This being said, I've started to make new friends and branch out. I'm so happy with who I'm becoming and genuinely have never felt such a positive energy surrounding me. I decided to take some other friends up on an offer to get together. These are before mentioned friends and knew I was getting a little disappointed with not being sure about plans. Today. Next up we have AITA for turning a special family celebration into a disaster. I've been married to my second husband Mike for 4 years now. He's a jokester and loves to crack jokes all the time. He especially likes to joke with my brother Ethan and his wife. Ethan used to be okay with it till he started complaining about Mike taking it too far with his jokes. Some context about Ethan. He and his wife couldn't have kids, so they adopted a boy, Joey, 2 years ago. Mike has been making silly, lighthearted jokes involving Joey's bio parents as a way to mess with Ethan and his wife. I already talked to Mike, and I tell you that he's 100% means no harm, and he was just trying to get them to react. So fast forward to NYE, my parents hosted a big celebratory dinner and Ethan and his wife came. While we were eating dinner, Mike decided to tell a knock-knock joke to Ethan. He said, "Knock, knock." Ethan laughed and said, "Who's there?" Mike replied, "Joey's bio parents." Then he bursted out laughing. Silence took over and Ethan's facial expressions changed. His wife called Mike an idiot, to which Mike replied with, "Hey, relax, it was just a joke." An argument ensued and dinner was paused. My parents suddenly told me to leave, which I thought was too harsh. I tried to speak to them and get them to calm down, but Mom insisted that Mike leave. We left and Mike was complaining the whole time about how they overreacted. I called Mom later and she told me Mike was out of line with his hurtful jokes about this touchy topic and told me I was wrong for defending him and saying he was just joking. She said he ruined New York for the family, but I told her it was her and Dad who ruined New York's celebration for escalating the situation and kicking him out. I told her he could talk to them, but again, they were the ones who ruined the New York celebration. She called me delusional for this statement and hung up. We haven't talked to them for days. I tried contacting Ethan, but no response. Am I the butthole? Tenant threatens to sue me for towing their cars during snowstorm, AITA? I, 35M, bought a new home a couple years ago. Instead of selling my old house, I decided to rent it out instead. My current tenants have been there for about 18 months and for the most part haven't had any problems with them. We recently had a large snowstorm in our area, about 20 inches in a 3-day period. As part of the rental agreement, I pay a plow service to clear the driveway and parking area of my rental property after large storms. Other times I just go over there with my own snowblower and take care of it. I ask my tenants to move their cars out of the parking area and driveway so that the plow truck can maneuver properly and move the snow safely. My tenants are a family and they have 3 to 4 cars depending on if their oldest is staying with them or not. She is in college nearby and sometimes stays at home instead of at school. I always give 48-hour notice when I schedule the plow truck to come so that my tenants have ample notice and time to move their cars. I sent an email to them notifying them of the date and time that the plow truck was scheduled to be at the house, but I got no reply. So I sent a text, but also got no response. I tried calling but got no answer, so I left a message, but didn't hear back. The day the plow truck was scheduled, I got a call from the driver saying that he can't plow the snow because there are too many cars in the way. I went over there and there were 5 cars, 2 of which I didn't recognize. The driver said he had knocked on the door, but no one answered. I tried too, but no one was home. I tried calling again, but no answer. I eventually had to tell the driver to leave because he had other jobs to get to. I sent another email saying that they have 24 hours to move their vehicles or they will be towed so the snow can be removed. I got no response to that email either. The next day I went to the house again and tried calling one last time, but no answer. So, I called a tow truck and had all 5 cars towed and got the plow truck to clear the snow. The next day I finally got a call back from my tenant. He said they were out of state visiting family for the holidays and didn't have cell service or internet access. He asked if I could wait on removing the snow until they get back in a couple days. I had to tell him that their cars had already been towed. He was not happy. There was a string of expletives about how I had no right to tow their cars and that 2 of the cars were family members who were traveling with them. I advised him to reread the rental agreement regarding parking and snow removal because I was completely within my rights to remove cars after giving proper advance notice. He let loose with a string of expletives that would make a sailor blush and threatened to sue me for damages. I once again told him to review the lease, but he told me to fuck off and hung up. I do feel bad, but there are city ordinances about snow removal that I need to adhere to as the homeowner. Am I the butthole? Last but not least we have AITA for wanting my own space in a 4-bedroom house. Me, 14F, my twin sister Kate and our parents, 40s, live in a 4-bedroom house. My parents have the master, the second room is a guest room, Dad uses the third room as an office and my sister and I share the other room. The 3 regular bedrooms are small. Dad works from home 2 days a week and we have guests maybe 10 days a year. I'm very outgoing, I like having people over, and Kate's an introvert who wants to watch her old TV shows and talk to her friends on Discord. She likes order and I like putting my clothes on the chair without being yelled at. We've been asking to have our own rooms since we were 9, and my parents are refusing to move us because we don't have enough space for everybody's needs. Quarantine was awful. Kate and I fought all the time and our parents yelled at her when she moved her stuff to the guest room because Mom has her craft stuff in the closet and what if Grandma had to stay with us for a while? I love my sister, but this is making me like her less and sometimes I think she barely tolerates me because we're always in each other's space. We barely fit in here anymore, the closet is too small for our clothes, Kate's books are in stacks on the floor, I can't listen to music in peace, and my friends ask why are we sleeping in bunk beds in a 4-bedroom house. Yesterday I was looking for my hair curler and caused a book avalanche that knocked the USS Enterprise whatever off the desk. Kate was screaming, I was screaming, and she asked for the 1,000th time to combine the guest room and office so she can take the other room. Dad said he absolutely needs an office. I said I absolutely need a closet and it doesn't make sense to have all this space and put both his kids in a single room. Mom said we're not entitled to a bedroom each and there are millions of children who share a room and if we wanted more space we should get rid of some stuff and stop living like hoarders. Like, we're sorry for being 2 separate people with 2 people's worth of belongings that you bought for us. I asked who is entitled to a room that's empty 346 days per year or an office that's used twice a week and why I'm the unreasonable one for wanting some space. After that we were yelling in circles and Kate took her laptop and locked herself in the guest room. Dad asked what she thinks she's doing and she said Googling nursing homes with bunk beds, which did not help at all. So, are we assholes? Today my aunt and grandma visited and called us ungrateful for everything we have and were disappointed in us. I don't believe I'm an ass because I am just asking to use the space we already have, but at the end of the day it's my parents' house, not mine. Kate and I wouldn't be angry if we lived in a 2-bedroom house, but 4 bedrooms? One room just sitting there, being a waste of square FT and taxes? And we have to share? Am I the butthole? Thank you for joining us on another episode of Am I the Asshole? We hope you enjoyed discussing and analyzing these real-life scenarios with us. Remember, it's important to try and see things from different perspectives and consider how our actions might affect those around us. We encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you have a story that you would like to submit for us to discuss, feel free to message us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.